Morning Agents. This is Doc Holiday 24 bringing you another build video. This one, I specifically wanted to bring this one out because it's a TAC 50 build. This is basically gonna only be used for razorback. So on this build, what you're stacking here, you're going for a lot of crit chance and crit hit damage. Preferably you want to be 60 and above on your crit hit damage. Here's the stats real quick. Let me switch over to, there's the TAC 50. Yeah, it's 455. The only things that affect the TAC 50 are weapon damage and crit hit damage. Marksman rifle damage will not affect the TAC 50. You have to keep that in mind. So on the gloves, I went with crit instead, but I'll get to that in a moment. First off, here's the Sokolov Mask. I'm only using this to get the spotter to go active with this. So I got my 50% damage to elites I rolled on there. A red, 2 yellow, spotter. This is a very difficult mask to get. Honestly, when I was farming for it, it took me about 5 weeks, and I didn't even get it myself. I had somebody else give it to me, which was kind of nice, and I'd just like to give a shout out for Drew for giving me that mask. Thank you. And the chest piece is a 511 tactical chest piece. I have 6.5 weapon damage on it. I rolled the crit chance for 18%. I have 9.5 crit hit damage, hard hitting, 2 red mod slots. Now notice here on my mods what I'm doing. These are not really ideal mods, but because you'd rather have a 2-2-2, 2% weapon damage, 2% damage to armor, 2% damage to health. So that first mod is almost there. It's almost god roll, but the second one, I still have the 2% damage to health, 1% weapon damage, 3% marksman rifle damage. And the only thing that marksman rifle damage is going to help is my nemesis, because what I'm typically doing at razorback is I'm using my nemesis just to one-tap the adds. So I'm able to hold my aces for whenever the tower comes up, so I can damage the weak points and then shoot the health. Okay, moving on. Here is the holster. It's a Wyvern. So on this gear, typically what's going to make this work is 3-piece Wyvern. So here's the Wyvern holster. With a 3-piece set bonus, I get 7% critical hit damage, plus 15% drone skill power. That's not even really needed with this build. And then you get 10% crit hit chance. I rolled the full 16% critical hit damage, just so I can get up to the 70% mark. It has hard hitting. I also have 1.5% weapon damage, 2% damage to health. It's 2% assault rifle. I'm not really using assault rifle on this, so I've been farming for more mods. I'm just not finding the ones that I want. You know how the RNG goes. And here are the knee pads. We have Wyvern, again part of the 3-piece set bonus. I have skill power there just to unlock spotter. There's hard hitting. And again, there's 2% weapon damage, 2% damage to health, 2% assault rifle damage. Again, I'd either rather have, instead of the assault rifle damage there, I'd rather have either damage to armor or marksman rifle damage. On the gloves, I went with the Alp Summit armament, the climbing gloves. This is kind of crucial here. I have the 6% critical hit chance there with hard hitting. I rolled the hard hitting instead because it was I think it was capacitive before, but having hard hitting there, getting to that 100% is much more ideal than rolling the critical hit chance there. So on the mod, it's 2% weapon damage, 2% damage to health, and 2% LMG damage. Again, the LMG damage could be traded out for either damage to armor or damage to marksman rifle damage. I mean, that would be ideal, but you just kind of got to work with what you get, kind of thing, you know. And then here is the backpack. It's 2 reds, a yellow, hard hitting. Capacitive, not really ideal there again. I did roll the critical hit damage to try to get the... That's how I was able to get it up to 70. I have 6% critical hit chance there, 168 skill power, hard hitting, capacitive, again, capacitive, not really ideal there. I mean, if you could get it with maybe vital, get yourself a little bit more health or something like that, that would be ideal. And the utility mod slot, it's not really... I got increased blind duration, increased shock duration, skill power. It's not really ideal either, but
Agent in need of
going
backup.
with what I had, just so I can get the spotter active. As you can see there, I'm hitting around 4.3. So with aces and tip of the spear, and all the buffs that you're gonna get, typically I take an aces guy, a tip of the spear guy with me, and then 1 grenade launcher, because the reason for the grenade launcher is you're getting 5% damage to targets out of cover, and then tip of the spear, of course, it is multiplicative with spotter, so you get your extra damage there. And then aces, you know, 100% weapon damage, so that would bring us to like 8.6, and then spotter, multiplying on that, would be around 13, 14 million, somewhere in there at the end of it, after you get all the buffs.
Character.
And then let's take a look at this again. So we have to go over here to attack 50. There it is. 40% crit hit chance, 70% crit hit damage. And as you can see, the all weapon damage bonus is a little low. I'd like to probably get that up higher, but again, you're going for critical hit chance and damage here mostly. And then you get 100% damage to elites, 2% damage to armor, 10% damage to health. Yeah, this is going to be a glass cannon build, but you have to kind of just pick your fights and play out of cover, you know. You're not going to phase tank anything with it, of course.
Character.